Yeah, thank you. Okay.
Local citizen.
What's your name? Oh, Jules.
Concerned citizen.
Concerned citizen, that is
Okay.
correct. And
Joey Logger and citizen of Sheridan, Oregon.
cool.
Dorothea Lee. I'm a member of Sheridan Chamber of Commerce and Sheridan Garden Club, and I'm the newest member of the Parks and Rec Board.
Nice.
Oh, good.
Sheridan.
Yes, Sheridan.
Awesome.
I didn't know we had a garden club. Yeah, you want to come? Maybe.
Probably.
We need new blood. A lot of the members are in their 80s.
Just in time. I'm Ashton. I'm the vice president. I also run the Cub Scouts and do Boy Scouts. What's up, Talon?
How's it going?
Why don't you introduce yourself and then I'll Talon introduce himself?
I'm like, why are you looking at me? Okay. Yeah, long day. Tasia Wydrow or TK, either one's fine. And the president of the Revitalization. And
I'm Talon Warden. I'm a general contractor in the area.
very cool.
And all for rehabilitating towns.
Very cool.
Yay.
Very cool. Okay, great.
We'll have questions for him during the meeting. Yeah.
Okay, so review the September. No, not September. Why did I put? Was it September? Wow, it was. Okay.
This is October.
This is October. Yep.
It's now okay to have Halloween decorations in stores.
Yes, but there's
Okay.
not. There's Christmas. Okay. Did the board members have any questions about the minutes?
Yeah, I believe everyone saw it online, so we are all approved
Okay.
up to.
Great.
So approval of minutes.
Second.
All those in favor? Excellent.
Anyone against? Nope. Okay, good.
We got 3.
Great. Okay. Action items from last month. We are
Yes.
super formal.
Yes, I love it.
All right, organized. So organized for the next meeting was to have a walk around and talk about the murals and that. So I picked my free spot.
Yeah, it was probably a good day to do that, but not a good day to do that.
Nope, too cold. TK to ask Gloria.
Next
sorry.
month, maybe. It'd be really great
to do
the
this.
idea is to walk around and have everyone look at what we're going to be working on, like actually get eyes on it, that kind of thing.
Even if it's only like a 15-minute walk, because most of them are like we want to do Main Street, Bridge Street.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it'd be a couple blocks trying to find.
Really put that down. That if the weather is half decent, let's plan on that for next. Yeah, it wasn't a good day to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then next was a TK to ask. Is that
Joya.
Joya about an expert on construction or building science, which I believe is why Talon's here as well.
I did not.
I don't remember this one.
I don't think, but I am joining kind of economic development Zoom next week, and I can talk about that too.
Sweet.
But maybe we don't have to. Okay.
TK to get an update on the directional sign to the corner of Bridge Street in Maine.
Really? Who am I getting an update from?
That's what I was going to ask you. These action items were added after the meeting. John to get a quote for pressure washing Main Street and Bridge Street.
That's done.
That was John and Ashton. We both did that. John to start reaching out for a structural engineer we can work with. You know what that was about?
Well, I think we were gonna. I didn't think we were gonna do that. I thought we were gonna go with contractors.
Sweet.
But I can. I still can. I can reach out, or maybe Talon can even help me with that one.
Yeah.
The idea, Talon, was that the two buildings that they went bankrupt on and are for sale now.
Mhm.
I was thinking if we had someone that would tell us, give an idea of what it's going to cost to finish it, that might make it easier for someone to buy it.
Oh, yeah.
So Dan, I can't think of Dan's last name, but he works with Eric Wagner, and he told me of Quinn.
Dan Caldwell.
The Boy Scout, yeah, Dan Caldwell,
Yeah.
who's a general contractor, told me about the guy that did most of the work on the building on Main Street.
Oh, okay.
So I called him and asked him to come to a meeting, but I haven't heard back from him. But someone like, you get something from somebody you don't even know, you
Yeah.
probably it's like, so that I was just thinking that might help okay, you need another $1 million, or you need $650,000. It's going to eliminate a lot of people.
Mhm.
TK has a good point. Maybe real estate agents are already doing, they're already doing the due diligence. You would probably have a better idea about that, but it was just a thought I had. And that, because I know from working at the food bank, we were looking at putting on a second story. Well, you can't do that. But when I talked to Shanna at YCCO, she said we could write a grant for a proposal to get that kind of information to pay someone, 10,000 or whatever it would be, and they'd say, no, you can't do a second floor. No, you got to do the floodplain or whatever. And I was just thinking, so I know that was a possibility. It was just a thought.
Yeah, it's definitely something that I can help with as far as an evaluation of the building project.
Great.
And kind of just a rough estimate of
Right.
budgeting, because that's the initial walkthrough on any project. That's one of the first things that we look at, especially for like a big giant remodel.
Right. Now, this particular building, excuse me, I think is
The Huntley building?
60% done.
Oh, okay.
So this
The
one,
Huntley is farther along than the Hyder.
right. So this would be something that could be more.
And both of them
Good
are
luck.
owned by the bank.
Hyder?
Heider, Heider.
Both of them are currently owned by the bank, and or they're
Probably.
being sold by the bank. I just chatted with a real estate agent that represents both of them, and to see if there had been any bites. He said his response was that the Hyder is being auctioned,
Wow.
which
Which is this one?
yeah. Which his email.
Huh.
Did he say why it would be auctioned?
They gave me a heads up that was a possibility.
Okay.
That if they did it, just because the bank is, the reason why the bank told the owner, Michael Cobalt, that they didn't want to play ball with him anymore is just because it had taken too long.
Right.
So they want to recoup some of their losses. So I think they were basically giving it, this is what I'm thinking based on what they said, didn't say, is they probably gave a certain amount of time for the real estate agents to get some bites the more traditional way, and then they were going to go with the auction, which, let me just read what he said.
I don't know if any of you saw this in the paper, excuse me. This is a message from the Sheridan Mayor. I've been able to find several people interested in both properties, and I'm excited to see the future of both locations.
Okay. So we have put the Hyder building in auction with Kretzy, which is, I guess, a platform, and you can view it by clicking the link below. We are holding the building open all day on October 25th, and the auction will run November 4th through 6th. So, yeah. And I don't know whether to be worried or excited about this, because I guess maybe the worry that comes in is potentially someone could pick this up for very cheap that does not have the wherewithal to actually finish the job. Yeah, well, I don't even know that you could tear it down.
Because it's a historic building.
Well, you'd have the floodplain issue. You'd have to raise it up 3
feet. They put so much work in to get it retrofitted to the point, like they put like all of that work in. It would
For earthquakes and things like
for
that too.
yeah. So he did a lot of the work.
Would you need a permit for it to be deconstructed?
Yeah, I think so. So okay, so
Sure.
it says starting bid is 100,000.
Whoa.
Doesn't mean it's gonna go for that, but I read
Yeah,
that. And I was a
that's
little
cheap.
bit like,
That's a great deal.
that's a great deal, and maybe it would be someone local that like has family that has money to be able to potentially invest and build. It would be great if it would be a local person. I just would hope it would be someone that is not gonna sit on it for 5 years and do nothing.
Someone who wants to improve Sheridan.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an investment, right? People would buy it for making money out of it, so they would I mean, it's a great deal if you can get a property for that.
Or if they need to lose money, they need to write it off. They could write it off, and they make money that way too.
Can't believe there's people like
Don't
that.
say that loud.
Don't say that. No, we don't want that. So in this, it also goes over that there's a grant attached to it. That they have to do due diligence. So if you look at the listing, even the current listing, not this one, the current listing, there's a enormous amount of information. It might even include an estimate of how much
Huh.
they anticipate, but there's yeah, they did a lot of work to actually make the listing be
Sweet. Have
attractive.
you seen that yet?
No trouble.
Yeah.
Spin the wheel.
Jody, Send
I
that,
was-
send that over.
Who's the realty company that has it?
It's out of Salem, and they are Kurt Arthur out of Commercial Advisors LLC out of Salem. Yeah. Anyway, so that's that building.
Okay.
Okay.
And that was the
That was-
Huntley?
that was
Hyder.
the Hyder.
Yeah, the Huntley is the one that is right across the street from like the
Sheridan
ramen, yeah, the pharmacy and the ramen place.
Huntley's on the river.
The Hunt on the river.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Hyder is right over there, and then the Huntley is by the river. The Huntley is, except for the facade, I think the vast majority of the exterior has been done. Like they fixed the whole back area. They did a bunch of work inside, and it's cheaper. Yeah, and it's a cheaper building, and I think it's probably maybe 100 to 200,000 to finish. I think that
And that is for auction. That's not for auction. That was
that's
for sale.
not for auction. I asked about
Yeah.
both of them. He responded with the information about
Yeah,
that one.
Great.
From what I understood, the Hyder was the one that the bank was really pushing to be like, this has been for a long time and all of that. Huntley's actually, he's owned it for longer, but for whatever reason, yeah. Okay, so then the next thing is treasury report. So here's the deal.
Is that all the action items?
That was all the action
Yes.
items.
Okay. Because I thought, didn't we also,
We have another action item. Yeah, we had another meeting, just a board.
oh, I'm
meeting.
sorry.
Is that you talking about those notes?
Yeah, sorry.
We can run over some of those too.
Yes.
You were to ask Heidi about the city attorney looking at the waiver.
Haven't heard
So
from her.
this is the power washing project.
Right,
Yeah.
and so.
Which we have a whole section on that, so we might
Okay.
want to just leave the power washing for that section.
Great. Yeah, and I think the rest of these are fine. We can cover most of these in the meeting.
Okay.
Okay, so we had our beloved treasurer, step down because she's been volunteering for 16 years, and she was one of our original board members, 7 years, so we said thank you very much, and she can enjoy her time with her family. We will cry, but we won't get mad at her for leaving. Not too much. So we are in the hunt for a new treasurer. From what I understand, it's mainly just keeping some financials, and all the rest of the board members, it's not our forte. So if anyone knows of anyone that is interested, let us know.
The books are pretty simple.
They're pretty simple.
But we have a bank at First Federal, or bank accounts at First Federal in town. So, and the checks are all set up. You need 2 signatures on them, and so you just be added on that, and then anything we pay for would just be written out of the check and have to get 2 signatures. And we were going to post. We didn't post, did we? Looking for board members.
I did do that in the email. I didn't do it on.
Oh, you
I
did.
remember we were going to do the thank you thing first.
Sounds good.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes. Sorry. I'm also in the middle of running a major event at the school, so I'm getting like a million texts. So if I stop for a second, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I didn't cancel it. I didn't change the date. I kept it on this date, which is probably a bad idea. but
Horrible.
it's-
You have 1 hour. You can do it.
Okay, good. Okay.
Less than
Yeah, so if anyone knows of anyone, that's what we would love, that help. We're also looking for another board member in general, and I would say that it's a couple hours a month to as many hours as you want to put in.
Yeah, the other project that Anne was running was the murals project, which we are looking to step up and do a lot more work on. And I'm hoping to help with that as well, as like take that on as kind of a work with someone who can help me with that. We got 1 mural up, and
That's fine.
we got the sign up. Yep. But we have a lot of ideas, and we have a budget right now to getting that mural up, and so I'm going to be trying to reach out to other artists in the area. They just had that great mural walk in Mac, including the artist who did.
Yeah, Natalie.
Natalie did a great one out there too. It's amazing. So I'd love to do more of that. Art is really big in small towns now, and I think we should definitely.
What was your thought?
Oh, I have a couple of artists. One of my closest friends helped with the mural street down in McMinnville.
Sweet.
And
Your
so
closest
he's
friend would like to come talk with us.
He
We
definitely
would love to chat. Really, it's that we have a lot of ideas. It just takes time and energy to do it. And with having 4 now board members, building out even if someone can't be a board member but can be part of like the mural committee or the public art committee, whether that's under our group or under the city. I would prefer under our group. The city group, what we are a part of, but if it's under our group and then they can help on other things, it's kind of as much as someone's interested in putting in time.
Cool.
Yeah, that's great.
And you said, like roughly the square footage of the location?
We have multiple.
We have a bunch of
locations.
different ones.
We have so many options.
So many options.
Yeah.
Is there, and then you have a budget?
We have multiple budgets.
Multiple.
Yeah. We have a budget. We have done fundraising for it. So we have.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have some money in the bank waiting for an artist.
Yeah. And we have like there's a couple of grants. We have a couple of grants.
Great.
That we could apply for, but they like to have, if we know a better idea of what we're doing. Like, we're going to be doing a mural on this wall and for, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's just having having some artists that are interested and have time. Natalie's fantastic. She's very booked and very hard to reach sometimes. So would love her to. Can you add an action item to reach out to Natalie, or you can reach out to Natalie, or I can reach out either.
She's also a tattoo artist, right?
I don't know.
Natalie?
Maybe. Yeah.
She's teaching a class in my daughter's.
Okay. But I would would love it if she could finish that one. It's not 100% finished. She just did the fixing of it after the damage, and she was really great to get to take some time to get it done right before Sheridan or Hometown Days.
Right.
But we would really like it to be fully finished.
Another week of good weather.
Yeah.
She should get right on
Yeah.
over it.
So yeah, if one of us could reach out. Anyway, so for the treasurer's report or the discussion of responsibilities, it's mainly, there's just a couple times a year where like paperwork needs to be filed, but it's not a big deal at all. And then it's mainly just keeping track of the accounts, which we don't, there's only a few times a year again that we do very much with the accounts anyway. I wanted to find out from Anne, what are the pending things? Because I think, and maybe you would know about she said something about like gift cards. The cards hadn't been given out yet for the winners. Is that true?
She was supposed to do that.
I don't think that's done.
And I know that the first lady,
For the
Ian's
yard.
wife, Mary, the yardman.
The winners.
She didn't get one. But then she also threw away our $50.
I know.
No, I have the sign.
Oh.
You got it?
No, that's the second sign.
I have the second sign in my garage. Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm glad you got it, because I went to the vet twice to try to get it. Okay, that's good. At least we have one. But the first woman, Mary, threw it in the garbage.
Yeah, so I think next time we just need to be really clear. Like, just save it, text us, call us, and we'll
Maybe
look
a
at it.
sticker on the back
Yeah.
or something that says, don't
No,
return.
property of Sheridan.
Yeah,
Museum.
That's
Yeah,
property of.
You could do that, Ashton. You could draw that on the back.
I know how to use a marker. Yeah.
There you go. You could do that. He's artistic, man.
So we just need
It would look government
there's
official.
like a couple of these pending things, like we need to make sure, so it's the ones, it would be Mary, and it would be the one that won in Willamina.
Oh, did that finally happen? I was out of the country, so I didn't hear.
Did that one?
Did that one happen?
Well, I went and looked at it, looked fine to me, but the guy never returned the call. So I don't know
so
what
that-
happened.
Okay, so really.
So I
we
just
only
kept the
owe-
sign.
We
So
only
it's
owe
only
Mary.
two people,
Okay.
Mary and the people, can't remember their name.
Okay, so we need to get the gift certificates from the local
We
place.
were gonna get them from the mercantile, just $25.
$25.
Yeah.
Is that something that you could do? And we
I
could
can,
reimburse you?
Em was gonna do it because she has the money.
Yeah,
Right.
we're gonna sort it out so that we can do reimbursement checks.
Okay,
If you can do that and deliver them, and then we can just make sure that that's done, that would be great, and then we will get you the reimbursement check. We're getting it so that we can all be signers.
Whoever wants to be signer, yeah.
Yeah, I think we should all be signers, so that we can do that. But anyway, that's the kind of thing that the person doing that would just be like, okay, great, we're gonna write a reimbursement check and luckily the bank's right down the street. Okay, good, so if anyone knows of anyone that is interested in either being a board member or being the treasurer, with not a whole lot of responsibility attached to being a treasurer, then let us know. Yeah, so we are gonna try to do maybe an ad in the paper. All of us use our connections to promote another board member, and ideally we're looking for someone that.
I mean, there's a lot of people online who want to help.
Yeah, I know a lot of people have said it, so it's really just like showing up to meetings, being able to answer emails, being able to get along with people of all sorts, being able to like go, coordinate with the city and go coordinate with builders and that kind of stuff, and just not ruffle feathers, get along with everyone, because we have sometimes our personal opinions don't really matter, and we have to just do what we're doing to help represent the town. So anyone can think of anyone, let us know, and then also just promote to people that you know. Board members, do you think it's a good idea to do the ad in the paper?
I think we should start online.
Start on social media.
I would
Okay.
start online and just see how it goes, and we can chat mid-month if we need to do that too.
Okay.
But
I agree.
Okay, good.
there's a lot of people that are like really want this town to get better, and
Okay.
I'm sure there's someone who's can manage the books.
Okay. Okay, cool. Good. I'm good with that.
Good, John?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay,
Totally.
great. So there was an idea that someone had. Jason had? Someone had this idea? There was an idea, or maybe you had.
I think it was Jason.
Okay.
With project funding.
About we have some money. We have the ability to get more money with grants. It's hard to spend money sometimes because a lot has to go into, okay, the mural is ready to go, or we've got a project that's ready to fund, or we have a bunch of interest in doing the lighting on the bridge, and then we found out the lighting on the bridge to do it appropriately is like over $100,000 or something like that. So it's just, it can be, there's a lot goes into spending money also. So we were trying to figure out how can we help the downtown core businesses with smaller projects in a really easy, simple way. And so we were talking about like, how do you do that? Can you just give them money? Can they put proposals? So I reached out. The organization that we're part of is called Oregon Main Street. I'm part of their forum email list that's called Oregon Main Street Managers, which is great because it tends to be city managers, chamber presidents, organizations like ours, downtown groups, that kind of thing. It tends to be the people that help run those. So they have a huge reserve of information. So I asked the question, we're in Sheridan. These are guys from Oregon, so they all know who we are too. We're in Sheridan, small town. A lot of these smaller towns, people, unless they're an investor, like Michael Kovac, who was the investor, they don't have the funding to do reimburse $200,000, even reimburse half of a $30,000 grant, not necessarily. And for Oregon Main Street grants that are bigger grants, they require that it's partially funded by them. So I was like, what do you do if you have a bit of money and you want to contribute it to the town to do, let's say, Benny wants to paint, which I know they want to paint, or let's say that this place that's right next to us wants to clean up the sidewalk and put in something on the front, or I don't know, whatever. Can we give them money? How does that work? So I put that question in, and I really liked the responses.
Like the question is, can we make our own grants, right? Can we like,
how does that
do we
work?
grant, or do we just give them money? Is that,
How does the paper trail work?
How
yeah,
does that
like
all
legal,
work?
like we're a nonprofit, right? We're obviously here to help Sheridan, but also like we don't want to just focus on one restaurant or
Yeah.
one person. That's like, and we want everything in town to look good. So one of the reasons Talon is here, I invited Talon, is to ask him about some certain projects around town, like how much would it cost to repaint that or to clean that or rebuild that just around town, and see if there's some projects that are like, hey, this is an eyesore or this part doesn't look great, and for $3,000 we can handle it, right? So getting some sort of estimate on that, I think is, but then also we have to figure out how to do it.
So I asked that question, and I got 2 responses, which I was happy with. It says, so this is someone from, I'm not sure what town she said she's in. Our small town has a program that the city offers where businesses can apply for a reimbursement of materials up to $500 for paint, glass repair, that kind of thing. It is effective every July 1st, so a business could get $500 in June and reapply for another $500. I do not know how fast or easy it is to apply for this $500. I do know that most businesses we have talked to just kind of blow it off since $500 is not much, and their buildings all need more. But really, for a small business, $500 is 3 or 4 gallons of quality paint or 2 or 3 broken windows. I was told the reason is only $500 for materials is that a few businesses took advantage of the money being given and they charged for their labor. Our town is too small to fund property owners' own labor in their own buildings, but we will give them money for some materials. So I think the city does a grant, but I think it's for nonprofits, not for businesses.
Right.
So I was kind of like, okay, $500 for reimbursement of materials. That's cool, because then they have to actually show, like, it's after the fact, which makes me feel a lot better about not just handing the money over, but you could be like, okay, they can say, here's the project. We can be like, great, that sounds good. And we could the board can come up with some, like, guidelines on this. Like, it has to be within what we consider the downtown core. It has to be a visible improvement project. Like, facade or, that kind of
So
thing.
Talon, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
If someone gave you $500 for materials, what would you charge would you charge $250, $300 to apply that? Or how do you, I'm just trying to,
I mean, that
like,
completely
It really
on the
depends on the project.
no, I'm just really trying to understand. If that's like 15 gallons of paint, let's say that's 15 gallons of paint. What would you charge to apply 15 gallons? Just rough. I know you can't do it, but would you charge another $500?
It's all like square footage costs. So it's $500 can be spent in so many different ways, and
Right.
it's hard to give you anything.
Okay.
Like that. But if you're talking just like $500 in paint,
It could be a new door.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm just
trying. Give you like 10 gallons of paint unless you like for quality paint.
right.
That
would cover
10 gallons. Roughly covers times 150 per gallon equals 1,500 square feet times $2. It's like 3,000 in labor and paint typically.
Okay. So that I'm that's all. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, we could do, you have the month of October to apply for this. You give us the information, and we pick out of like however many, we pick like 2, and so that's out of our pocket. That's up to $1,000. Or we could be like, it's going to be 1,000, and we're going to pick 1, and we're going to do it like once or twice a year or something like that. But I think we'd have to come up with the guidelines, and I like this better than I like any other idea, just because the reimbursement is like really clear. Like, you have to like see that they did the work, and then they give us the receipts, and we're like, great, there's like a whole paper trail. It's not a grant, it's just we're reimbursing you. And then another one said, this is in think the other one was Independence. This is Rockaway Beach. The other one was Independence. We did a collective of white holiday lights for all the businesses in our downtown core many years back. We had more than 30 buildings with the same looking white string rope lights. Some chose to put them inside, some chose to put them outside. It made it many years, and few still use them at the holidays now. It really brought a cohesive look. I'd love to do it again. I think it pulled the community together, and it's important to make sure everyone is included. Another way we have done this is with paint for businesses and unused buildings that needed along Highway 101. In both cases, we purchased the materials and gave to the businesses. The paint initiative ended up with the community members painting 3 buildings that really needed it and our post office. So that's also really great because you give the supplies and then the businesses do what they're going to do with the supplies. And
They can do it, or
They
they can
can-
hire a contractor.
they can do it themselves, they can hire a contractor. Both of these examples take away from us the liability of us doing the work ourselves or having to find all the volunteers to do it. It just makes it be easier for businesses to be able to do something that maybe they were thinking about doing already. The kind of the first idea of the reimbursement thing might be the simplest way to go about doing it. If we're going to do 1,000, if we're going to do 500, that might be the simplest thing that we could do. And the other thing is maybe we could do, like keep this in mind, and as we do maybe seasonal things, or if we're going to do the banner thing, we could be like, we will pay for 20 banners. If you're busy, we will give it to you. If your business wants it, we will give it to you. You do the work to put it up. Or you, like whatever we do. Like we can provide the supplies and that kind of thing and the funding. And then the businesses will do the work to put it up. Because what I've been finding that makes me the most nervous is just when we do the work ourselves, whether it's mowing the lawn or doing whatever, then we assume the liability for it. And that's why I've been always nervous about the power washing, is who's assuming the liability for that. That's why I like the idea of when the other town said that they provided a power washer and supplies, and then the businesses did the power washing themselves, because then they take on the liability versus us taking on liability. But anyway, that's another subject.
I mean, you can get contractors who are bonded and licensed and insured, so like. Yes.
Any of those people that we had out have $1 million or $2 million of liability
Yeah,
insurance.
as long as what we said, what the other guy was saying was listed, it needed to be the city and our
That's where we may
nonprofit.
need, if we want to go that route, we may need to get an attorney and have,
And make
you,
sure
Ashton, you probably have an attorney, right? No, you don't?
I don't know any attorneys.
Okay. I'm just thinking if we want to go that route, I'm just saying because you have a business and you could be liable is all I'm saying. And
Sure.
Anybody that has a business could be liable, but we may not want to go that way. I kind of think we ought to pick we ought to pick one building or something so that we can get a product. I know $500 is not very much, and I'm not trying to be skeptical or anything, but I think, like we mentioned when we had the board meeting, that we need to produce something.
I vote for doing either 1,000 or 500 and just sending out that message on all of our connections.
That there's reimbursement available
Yes.
for projects.
For any project that is, and we'll list like any project for the downtown core, and we have that somewhere.
Yeah.
Where it's
There's
like
a map.
it's a map. Yeah, the downtown core. Any project that has a visible improvement, like it can't be like electrical work. It'd have to be like facade, paint, something that shows a visible improvement, lighting, awning,
plants,
cleaning, something or like that. And that they have from this date to this date to send in their proposal. Yeah, which it can be, informal, but it needs to at least list like what the project is, when you're going to get the work done. Like we'd have to say, get the work done within the next 6 months or something like that. And that this is not money up front. This is, you have to show, you have to actually
Produce it.
and 2, you have to give receipts.
And
And
you
it
should,
has to be not for labor, right? It has to
Yeah,
be for
for
actual
material
materials.
receipts,
yeah, and you should have a rough kind of contract.
Yeah, there's got again,
With
we
those
gotta be
criteria they
careful
sign.
because we
Yeah.
might lose that $1,000.
As a contractor, you know, a contract is kind of important because it's got
Oh yeah,
the details, the due date, when it has to
Yeah.
be done.
He
But the
can
thing is,
lean and
they
all
don't
that
get the
kind of stuff.
money until
Yeah.
they produce what
That's
we asked
exactly
for.
right.
So that takes
And then
away.
contract stipulates that. So
Yeah.
it's just important. I mean, there's a lot of different lawyers that'll just review contracts too.
Yeah,
That's
so it might be a good idea.
Draft
Yeah.
something up.
I'd love
Yeah.
any other feedback. Does anyone have any ideas or positives, negatives on that idea?
I like the
Yeah,
1,000. I
positive.
really do, because 500 doesn't get you much.
Yeah.
Life isn't cheap anymore.
So if we said we're gonna do maybe, I mean, if we worked really hard, if we had it be, this might be cool. If we said one of our primary fundraise things on a yearly basis is for downtown core business projects. That way, when we do our fundraisers, that's actually what we can say. It's going to something you can immediately see in the downtown core.
Yeah.
And then we can say, every 6 months we do this. So we do it twice a year. It's $2,000. So we have to make sure that whatever fundraiser we do nets us $2,000 at least. And then we go from there. I like that idea. I think I like having a definitive thing that we're fundraising for.
Yeah.
When we do our big beer garden thingy. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. And
Okay.
we just have to figure out how many we want to do. Like, can we do 3,000? Can we do 4,000? What's the treasurer? Who's the treasurer?
That's
You're
too
the
much.
treasurer now, aren't you?
I think let's start with 1,000.
2 1,000s or 3 1,000s?
Let's do 2 1,000s
Then
and
it's a
start
good
with
starting.
start
Yeah.
with 1,000.
I mean,
Because
how
we
much
know-
were you able to make last year?
Last year we made
I think we made
2,000. That's
Okay,
why I
okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like
so
if we do that, then we know we can. Our goal is we have to hit at least 2,000 in our fundraiser, and that way we're not pulling from. I like having that we have some money in the bank so that if we do get, because some of the money is not just we can't just use for everything. It's particularly for the murals or it's for the bridge lighting. So if we
we have money in the general fund or whatever. Like I can do this is the report from
there's not much change from the last
January,
one.
yeah. So this is I don't know if this is the last one. This was January, so this
No,
could definitely be wrong.
she had it from the end of the summer.
All right, well, I'll ask the treasurer.
So what was that money used for?
So far,
It's
nothing.
still
It's
just
in the
sitting-
savings.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
that's
We've used like the only money that's really gone out very much is for advertising and for the murals.
Okay.
The
And
two-
the advertising is
The
sign.
finger
The
sign.
The finger
yeah,
signs
Okay.
and the mural. And the advertising is for the bulletin board to promote like the cleanup and our
Beer
beer
garden.
garden. There we go.
Sell more beer, make more
Yep.
money.
Where
But
else
for the
do you
most part,
advertise?
that's it.
Okay.
Well, online.
Online. I mean, we
Okay.
do a lot of stuff
Okay.
online, but that's free.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
think we need
Board
to-
member needs to make a motion.
so. There's 3 of us. I guess 3/4 of us are here today. So So do you? I'll make a motion for two $1,000 grants. We have to obviously figure out the legalese.
Well, we got to do the legalese. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yes.
You have to have a
legalese-
lawyer look at it.
Yes, you should worry about the legalese, but like, don't let the legalese like get in the way. Like, we'll figure it out.
I think we could figure it out. I feel much more comfortable about doing it where we are not assuming liability. I think this is a good way to not assume liability.
And there's a lot of momentum that you can make prior to getting the legal approval.
Yeah.
You can do
Yeah.
all of that while you're acquiring a lawyer.
Yeah. Okay. You want to make?
So I'll motion to do 2 $1,000 grants for business purposes, materials that we got to figure out all the legalese details, but for and I think we should just. I mean,
I think we call it
winter's
grant.
already here, but
We're not going to call it grant. We're going to
Yeah.
call it reimbursement.
Okay.
Business reimbursement.
towards
Improvements,
materials,
yeah,
business,
Beautification.
material reimbursements for downtown.
Revitalization, you gotta throw
There you go.
that word in
Yeah.
there.
There you go.
There you go.
It can be local.
Oh,
you can tell
on
them
the
stuff.
point.
Great.
it should be vote. Motion to 1,000 to do. I spelled two wrong. Let's do this again. Motion to do two $1,000 business material reimbursement for downtown revitalization.
Great.
Before, I think we should ask for stuff before the end of the year, and then make decisions before the end of the year.
I think
So
we
we could
should
do
ask for
December,
stuff by the
June.
end of October.
You think 1 month?
For doing $1,000, $1,000. I just think we should get it started. The
Great.
worst thing is that no one applies, no one sends anything in, but I think we should just get it
So
started.
you want to pick one, get it in by the end of October, and we'll figure out the legalese, send out the request, pick one by the end of October, and then vote on it at the next meeting, or announce it at the next meeting.
Announce it at the next meeting.
Great.
Because we could always do a board Zoom. That's also, if you're a board member, we have one meeting, but then the other meetings can be Zoom, so it's easier to show up places. Okay,
Or
good.
even
I
share
second
your
it.
face.
Second it. Second it.
Hey, you seconded it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Great. Anyone again? Oh, okay. Passes.
Sweet.
Great. We got something done. So exciting. Okay. We got to jump into the other topics because we're running low on time. So the town hall is the 10th,
Yes.
and John, you're already doing
Food bank.
the food bank. And is Jason going to be in
Is
town?
it October 10th? That's a 10th?
October 10th at,
The high school.
6 to 8.
but we have to
What
show
a
up
missed
there.
opportunity.
We have to show up there at,
10 and 10? Come on.
I know.
Okay.
What
At
Oh,
5.
At
5 or
5?
5:30. I
Yeah.
know
Could
5:30.
have set up the table.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Can I put that down?
So in your quest of trying to find a lawyer to work with for creating grant letters, right? A letter of intent for a grant for a nonprofit.
Yeah.
There's a company called Rocket Lawyer, which is something that
I've heard of that.
Yeah.
I use
Okay.
for document generation because it's a small membership fee. It's like $30 a month. But what it does, it gives me access to 2 lawyers.
Oh.
So what the membership includes, you can write your own grants. There's tons of templates, and they're specifically for this purpose.
Rocket what?
Rocket Lawyer. And you can fill it out. It's a form. You can fill it out to your terms, and then you can adjust it, modify it, and then you can ask for a review from a lawyer, and they can review it.
Oh, I like that idea. Do you have to do like a yearly contract?
No, it's just month to month.
Okay. That would be cool. Maybe we'll do it for a couple months.
I
like that idea.
Why did you choose that versus like legal Zoom? Because that's another one where you do their.
Yeah,
Okay.
ease of use
Okay.
and resources. It
Okay.
has the ability I can send for digital signatures
Okay,
if I use it. So I like use it primarily for like knee releases with my subcontractors.
Okay.
It's one of the big things, and then it has a bunch of resources for a lot of different
Cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so for the town hall planning, Ashton, can you be there at 5:30?
I can't. I don't remember what it was. I think I'm coaching soccer, but
That's
I will
on
be
a.
there. I think I'm there.
It's a Thursday.
It's a Thursday.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Okay, and so
Does it start? And it starts at 6? I
Yes.
thought I was not missing that one that bad.
Yeah.
But I believe soccer coaching is
the 10th.
down knowing the game is. Do we have a game on that Thursday, October 10th? I coach this child.
Everybody should have a digital calendar.
Yeah,
I do, and my phone is getting internet from over there.
Oh,
Because there's no internet
Yeah.
there.
Next Thursday.
Next
The
Thursday,
10th,
the 10th.
At the Sheridan High School.
Does it start at 6?
It does.
6 to 8, yeah.
6 to 8.
Yeah, so the game's at 5, and so the game's over at 6 o'clock in Max. So I'll be there just at 6:20ish.
Okay. So, and I'm supposed to bring a table, right?
Believe yes.
Table and chairs.
Table and
Okay.
chairs.
I can drop one off early, or figure, so maybe we can grab one.
I
I
have
have a really
one.
small foldable kit.
I'll be with Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will be there and I will man our table until you get there, and then we'll man it together.
Don't
and
they
then
have
did
chairs
Jason
and
say he
tables?
could do it?
From the high school, don't they?
No.
Is it in the
The chairs are for the people that's gonna sit and listen to the mayor's thing.
it's the high school cafeteria? So like you just
Yeah.
park, go in the doors, and where is it?
It's to the right.
To the right.
Yeah.
To the immediate
It's totally
right. Okay,
right,
that's what I
yeah.
thought. Okay, great. So I'll just be there, show up.
Well,
Can you check with Jason?
They'll
if he's
probably
gonna
have
be
that side door
Yeah, I'm sure
open.
they'll have,
The
yeah.
side door
And
open.
then I don't know that I have a whole bunch of stuff we can bring. I think it's just like
Have a sign.
Cookies.
However, I'll bring the sign. Yes. Okay. That's my day off, so I'm being a good person. My
Oh,
day off.
John, give the yard of the month sign to promote it for next spring.
Oh, yeah. Bring the yard of the month sign. Bring it and just drop it off on
Try
the
to
table.
remember that.
Yeah. That's a good idea. Okay, good. So that's great. We'll do that.
Quick, my card, yeah.
Fall cleanup is, I heard back from the high school and we're fully booked with them. I booked it on Solve, so I will start sharing that. I made the event on Facebook and I shared that, and I shared it with the city, and I reached out to Stacy from the bulletin, and she confirmed with me that last year for $300 we did 2 1/2-page ads in color with 30 flyers. So board, are we okay with doing that again?
Oh, for the Sheridan pickup,
Yes.
for the
this.
Sheridan pickup trash banners and posters.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
For sure.
And then do you have the banner thingy for this? The flyer? Not the flyer. The sign. The sign thingy? Didn't you have a sign thingy that you put
The
outside?
Sheridan Revitalization sign.
Yeah, that had the pickup, the clear. Did we do one like that?
I mean, I painted a wooden
That's
sign.
what I mean.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'll put
So
that
you
up
wanna
at the
put that
ground.
up? Yeah. Okay,
Yes.
great.
He doesn't
and
do
then
plastic.
Did the Rotary confirm they can do pizza and the hot drinks?
Yes, they confirmed they're a go.
Great.
Thank you,
Yep.
Rotary.
I think
Yeah.
that's awesome. So, good. So I will keep on promoting that. If anyone can continue to promote that, that would be fantastic. Heidi is also connecting me up with Public Works, and I might ask you or Jason to pick up. She gave me a specific. Angela gave me like, great, I will put them aside on this day for you the day before or something like that to pick up the
Pick sticks?
pickers.
Who's got all the pickers?
Angela from Public Works.
Great.
We're borrowing the city's.
Oh, because you have the.
We have our own.
I have the revitalization, the city has theirs. Heidi said she'll be there for the cleaning, but I think it's easier for her to not have to handle her kids and the pickers.
Yeah. So need to be picked up the night before.
Yeah.
I think I did that last time.
Great. So I will
Was that
forward.
Friday or Saturday?
Friday. The
The
cleaning is
things
on
on
Friday, the cleaning is on Saturday, the thing's on Friday, so I'll forward you, just make a note that I should forward you the email from Angela about when to pick them up and all of that.
And put a plug in for Rotary. The movie night is that night.
Great, so they can have flyers and
Yes,
promote that.
during while we hand out
Perfect.
cocoa and other things, we'll have the thing up for the movie
I love
later
it
that
when it
week.
all comes together like that. Yeah.
Make a day of it.
Rotary movie night is that night.
Yes.
Yes.
And I forgot the movie, but
Okay, good, so I think we'll just order good weather,
yes.
and,
What's the day again? Is it November?
November 16th, Saturday, November 16th. We decided that was a good day because it was not too close to
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Good. Next thing, the power washing update. Do we want to, I'm sorry I'm being such a poop on it.
You're afraid of power washing?
I am just, that one, the liability, and two, okay, this is dumb, and I admit it's probably dumb, but I'm just worried that if we don't have agreement from everyone on one part of the street, we're gonna have clean, dirty, checkerboard. And maybe that's dumb to be worried about that, but I'm a little bit worried about that.
I mean, are
Particularly on this one. I agree on Main Street, on that one side particularly, it will be fine. But that's probably the only section that we could do that it would be fine, and maybe that's enough.
because how many business owners do we need to talk to? Right, there's like 3 or 4.
On that side?
Yeah.
Are you guys planning that on a weekend? When are you planning?
We're not planning anything right now. We're trying
Okay.
to. It's
Concept.
Well, the other thing is when there's spray washing and there tends to be cigarette buds, maybe we could ask the city to come along with their little street sweeper and suck up those darn cigarette butts.
Yeah, the dirt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or other
Could
trashy
need it to
things.
be when they're planning, like
Yeah.
around the date of that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Or
I
I
yes,
come by
that is
and
something
pick
to
'em
worry
up
about, but
myself.
that's not. I feel like that's sub-bridged like 2 rivers
Yes,
down.
I getcha.
So mainly, we just have to approach the businesses first and see what they think.
Yeah. I would just reach out and say like, hey, we'd like to do this. I think it's an inexpensive way to make it not look dirty.
The pharmacy is game.
Okay.
So do you
we've
have a
got-
section
We're 1 out of
you're
4.
interested? Is it Main Street or Bridge Street?
Both, but I think that because of there's one stretch where there's a business at every place, it might be the only stretch of downtown that has that. So we would have Sea Reach,
Benny Hughes. or
Ramen,
Green Frog.
your Green Frog, and then the pharmacy.
Gotcha.
We can reach all 3 of them. So
That
And we
So
got a quote
I-
for also doing this other side of the road, which includes in front of the Huntley building.
which means we would have to get agreement from the bank, which might be not as easy.
which,
Yeah.
but we could also do this same kind of thing where we would reimburse them. You know what I mean? We could somehow have them hire the contractor or the power washing guy.
I mean, that could be, they could
Well, no,
apply for this,
but
too.
I'm just saying separate from your.
Yeah. No,
thing.
I agree.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Totally. Just like have them
That-
have the direct contact with
That
the
would
business.
totally clear us from any
I
liability.
like that idea.
Yeah, because I understand what you're saying.
So we could say if any downtown businesses, maybe we decided this before and I
Well-
completely forgot, but
Well, I was just thinking, why don't we do those 3 businesses? Why don't we just do the one side from Bridge
and
Street
just
to
say,
Faulkner
we
and
will reimburse you if you work with this contractor that.
right?
that
And it
has
wasn't.
given us
It's
this
not that
quote.
for 3 people. If depending on who we pick, the guy was going to do both sides for $750. So 3, it's going to be $300. It's going to be $100 for
Can
each.
you forward me that guy's contact information?
Sure.
Did you already ready? I've lost track, sorry.
I don't know.
Okay,
It's the
if you
same
can
guy
forward
that
that
does
to
it
me,
at
then what
Delphi.
I'll do,
I'm sure he's got all.
Yeah,
Did you
He's
ask
got to
if
have
I
all the
didn't see that
insurance and
proposal.
everything.
did
That's
you
what
ask
it
the
was.
pharmacy guy, the pharmacy, if they would do it that way? Where
I
we
didn't.
would
I
reimburse
said.
them?
I just said, "Are you interested in doing it?" And
Can you
since-
ask them that specific question? Then I can also, can you ask as an action item, I will reach out to the owner of Benny Hewitt, no, sorry, the owner of the ramen and owner of Sea Reach and ask them if we provide this contact to you and up to, we will reimburse, this is their quote for that whole thing, up to this amount, we will reimburse you, would you be game?
I think that makes it so complicated. It's going to be a huge pain in the arse for us.
Yes, but then it's going to be a huge pain also to try to be like, okay, great. So we're going to have to reach out to every single one of them and have them get the water connection, have them schedule the time and all of that. And we being the middleman just worries me too.
The only water
There's
over there
only-
is that
Yeah.
pharmacy.
It would only be the pharmacy's water, and they would do the whole thing at once, and it would just be a one. Anyway,
Just
Okay.
we don't have to worry about the details right now, but we do need to hash out.
See, I just don't understand how complicated it gets. It's like, we have money.
Well, and
We're trying to do something with it and it's just stuff
Is
comes
there
up.
no way to say to them, hey, this is who we've gotten a quote from, this is potentially the date that they're available, this is when we would like to do, this is how we'd like to do it, are you in agreement?
Yeah,
Like,
just
lay it
have
out for
a
them.
just have a basic contract, then just
Lay
like
it out for them and get them to agree to it.
And then we just,
and it just says just waive your liability for us. Like they have insurance, they'll cover it. Like there's no reason for us to be liable if we're hiring a contractor who's skilled and insured, right?
The
That
contractor should be
Contractor
liable.
is
yes,
liable
the
for
contract-
work that he does.
it-
okay.
it
As
says-
long
you're
as,
hiring a
as long as they
contractor,
put
just
the
yourself.
city and us in the, that's what another business, another revitalization type business, when I put this question on the listserv, said,
well,
just make
if
sure the city is written in the covered under the liability or something like that.
but I think
because
we
the
could get
city-
around all of that by I take the contractor to Susie and she hires the contractor.
But there's
But that's
six of
not what
them,
we're asking for. That's
right? Because if there's 6 different businesses, you'd bring them in and the contractor would give them 6 different proposals. Like you're 100, you're 300, you're 100, and have to send out invoices for each of them.
Yeah, I'm sure this guy will do that. Why wouldn't he?
Because
And then
we
we're
end up
not-
with a checkerboard. Because
No,
John
no.
didn't reply.
No, we're gonna go down. We're just gonna do the one. Aren't we just doing from Bridge Street to Faulkner? We're doing the pharmacy,
Yes.
the Green Frog, and C whatever that's
Sea
called.
Reach, yeah.
It'd be 3 people.
It'd be 3 people.
What do you think
for
about that,
one.
Talon?
Well, you could simplify it by just having the contract with the nonprofit organization, the revitalization committee, to do X amount of feet of sidewalk, and then that's it. And then you guys get reimbursed from all business owners.
I believe we are donating this. We're not even.
Yeah, we're gonna pay for it.
Well, then there's.
That's why having them pay them and us reimburse them, I feel like is just.
Oh, no, I
They
see
just
what
need
you're
to-
saying.
They just need to sign something with.
They just sign a waiver. That's it. They just need to sign, give permission to do it.
We're
It's
also
like
not
permission slip.
Portland guys. Like, I mean, I don't know all the business owners. Maybe they're super Portland. Like, but we're like,
More than.
it's small town. Like, we're here just trying to make it better.
I
Like,
think
just
most
trying to clean it
business
up.
owners would love to have somebody come clean their
Yeah.
sidewalk
It,
for
it
them.
wasn't even,
For
it was
no
that the
cost.
city ended up with a
Yeah.
$5,000 bill
They're gonna
because
just say, yeah,
they
go for it.
damaged the.
It's
yeah,
the
because they
we're
damaged
only
the
concerned about the
land.
liability, but we
Insurance,
could rock it, whatever that was. They could write up the contract.
Well, for something like just pressure washing sidewalks, it's really simple. It's just a permission thing, right? That's the only real thing. Like, as a property owner, I would say I would give permission to this organization to oversee the cleanup of my sidewalk, and then you hand that out to all the different business owners and have them sign it. And some of them.
So if the
To be
contractor
fair-
damages anything, then they are liable for the damage.
The contractor, yeah.
contractor.
So you have an agreement with the contractor to do
Okay.
the work, and the contractor should be licensed and insured.
Okay, so that means if any damages happen, then they take care of it.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, cool. I like that idea, and I do agree that it would be simpler if we were just working directly and just say, hey, we're gonna do it, here's the day. So really, we just need,
we got 3 quotes. We got 700. We got 1,400.
750, 1,400, and what was the other one?
45,000. 4,500.
45,000.
45,000.
We're doing the lights and it's 45.
Whole town.
I mean, ideally, it would be great to do the whole downtown core, but
Yeah.
the main issue would be these 2 streets. We'd end up with a weird.
But let's just do one thing at a time.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, good.
Yes,
If
don't-
we have success with that small patch.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
It
Then
might,
you can
it
say,
might,
look how great it looks.
yeah.
Well, that's
And we
the
could
thing.
send a
It's gonna sell
Yeah.
the
Yes.
rest of the town.
I
But
agree.
I just
Okay.
don't. But TK, do you know who? We know the bank owns the one building, but who owns that green building?
I know.
Okay, and
Yeah.
in
I
it's
could reach out.
PV. It's PV that owns the
Which one are you talking about?
the green building where, and then who owns the building that
owner
Betty's
owns
in? Is
the
that
street.
PV?
No.
But that's
That's
a
incorrect.
City Hall.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
I think
I
we
don't
know
know if
everyone that's on there,
Okay.
and
Yeah,
we
in
would
front of
just,
my
but I
house.
think that we could
Because
start on
I
that
think
one
the
side.
property
Yeah, let's just do the one
they
side.
Yeah.
Order me off their sidewalk if that's the case.
Yeah.
Sidewalk is public.
The sidewalk is public.
So we'd have to
But-
check with the city also.
They know that we've been going back and forth with her. She just recommended that we have.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Did the city say that the property owners are responsible for the sidewalk under the street?
Yes.
Yeah.
But they just don't own
They
it.
don't own it.
Correct, yeah. That's the same for every, so.
Except for residential, yeah.
Yeah, for residential, it's, anytime you do any type of substantial construction on a new property, whether it's a remodel or like an addition, and it crosses this threshold that the city is governed, then you have to do city improvements. Part of that city improvements is to like replace broken sidewalks, and they try to foot that onto the homeowner, even though it's technically it's a right of way and it belongs to the city. But it's written into the code land deed agreement that they will be responsible for the maintenance. It's like if you were to rent a house and then in the rental agreement, it says rent tenants are responsible for the upkeep and maintenance of the property. They don't own it, but they're responsible to take care of it.
Okay, good.
So
That
I
makes
think
sense.
the permission probably just needs to come from the city.
Okay, yeah. So I think add an action item to, how about I'll reach out to Heidi, give her the updated idea, and then once she green lights it, I will reach out to Sea Reach and reach out to
Everyone we can.
like all of those guys and just say, here's the exact thing. If you could forward me the contact information for the manager,
Sure.
then I'll just, we can put it in one document, and if I have any questions or whatever, we can just call. Good, and then we'll go with that idea, and then hopefully they'll get some momentum, and maybe we'll get the other side stuff. Okay, we
Side
have,
question. Sorry, John, that 750, was it for both sides of the street or just one side of the
Both
street?
sides.
Yeah, well, let's go
Wow.
for both sides.
He said he could do. He said he would like to do it on a Sunday, and he would just come in and knock it out and be done.
Well, that'd be good for the pharmacy,
Yeah.
really, because, you know, the amount of traffic that comes in
Yeah.
that front door there.
yeah.
But I
was in
just
there 3
so
times today.
you know I don't know.
Great.
Okay, next thing is,
That was a very long 5 minutes.
yep, sorry, I don't know if we have time for this. Mainly it was like, what are we supposed to do in the sign, the directional sign, the other directional sign?
Do we have, what
We
stage
have a
are we at?
quote.
We have a quote, we have
I had
general guidance.
considerations on it being weird, looking weird, because it's doing two
Different
parts of the
places.
street.
I feel like we need some pictures of it and post it online.
Okay, so maybe it's me ask, or you ask, someone ask Lucy, can you get a design mock-up for this that we can post online and get the viewpoint of people? You wanna do that? Cause you're Mr. Public Art? Sure. Great. Good. Updates from city council. Do we have anyone from city council here?
No.
No?
We have a half.
We have half the city
Did
council.
Have you heard any rumors, Kay?
Great. Anything else?
No news is good news.
Open comments period.
I'd like to just know kind of what is like the overall focus of this group, obviously, besides the obvious of like revitalizing the town, like by how?
Well, the original concept, which was 7-8 years ago, was to use the Main Street model to do that, and how that is using grants to try and help business owners. What we have discovered, painfully, is that it's not as easy as that, and a lot of the downtown, like I was saying earlier, downtown, like smaller business owners don't have the funds to be able to provide 50% of a $200,000 grant, or provide 50% of even a $30,000 grant, or they don't have, because Sheridan is, and I'm sure you know this, in a unique situation of the floodplain and the variety of other things that make building or changing things in the downtown area particularly complicated. So even like with the food bank trying to add a second story, or Lucy's son-in-law trying to repurpose the building to be a tasting room or whatever, they run into right down here. They run into all kinds of issues with.
You got to tear it down and start all over it, basically.
Or just because there's a lot of FEMA-related stuff because of the zoning for the flood zone and whatnot. So we were trying to figure out what is the best way, because these big grand plans are difficult to accomplish when you have a lower income area with business owners that don't necessarily have the wherewithal. And we have the downtown area with absent owners that haven't done anything with the building for a really long time, or whatever, for whatever reason. So we have empty buildings, and it's a particular issue. It's not I'm sure you know, it's not like a Sheridan only issue.
Yeah.
It's a all over the U.S. issue, all over Oregon issue. But anyway, so our focus has been to revitalize the downtown core. Originally, the idea was using the Main Street program. I still think there's some possibilities in there, but now we're trying to expand it more into this kind of thing. Like, what can we do? Like we do the twice-a-year cleanups, which we were talking about. We go through a nonprofit called Solve that helps provide us with supplies and like little tiny baby grants that don't really accomplish very much, but and then the public art idea. So we have a bunch of ideas, and so
I also really want to get bridge lights
Yeah.
on the, like, there's some really sweet bridge lights, and
yeah.
they're just very expensive.
I do have,
lighting's on.
you triggered Jim
Yeah.
said that they did discuss it, but, it's not likely.
Way too expensive, right?
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
But they did talk about
The
it.
city were also looking at things to put money towards, and the bridge lights came up. I did a bunch of plans with a couple companies in Seattle and in Portland, and we have 3D models of our bridge and the lights and see what they look like. They look sweet.
Yeah.
There's like 17 to 20 light bulbs, and each bulb's $1,000, which I thought was a lot. The controller is $3,000, but wiring it and getting it installed on the bridge is like $50,000.
The labor.
And also
80.
flagging too, like finding
Yeah.
flags
Yeah.
and stuff.
We
That's
did
all,
get the twinkle lights, the
Christmas lights.
Christmas lights. We did help provide that. We did fundraising for that, and we have those on there. And Stuff Electric helped put those up, and I
Cool.
think helps does it. So we've
Yeah.
done some of that. So
And Stuck is now managing all the
yeah,
Christmas
Stuck
lights.
is now managing that and all that. So we're kind of part fundraising for other groups that want to do stuff like the Christmas stuff, because that was something that for a while there really wasn't anything being done. It used to be run by the volunteer firefighters, and then it kind of they weren't able to do it anymore, and then we kind of took it on and found, oh, we really have to fundraise for new lights. So we did that, and now the Christmas committee has taken that on and stuff, which is great. So we're trying to focus on downtown core stuff. And yeah.
And we sort of, and I think this is, since Main Street, the gas station is there, that was a big improvement.
Yeah.
The pharmacy is pretty good too. Green Frog
Looks better.
looks better. What's that?
Sea Reach.
Sea Reach is not bad at all. I mean, Sea Reach is not bad.
You just can't know what it is.
The building across the street, the brick building is not too bad either. He put that awning out. He owns a lot of property in town.
The other guys.
The green building is,
He's working on it. That's the one that.
Anyway, I have the reason maybe that I brought you over is like to ask questions like the awning that has the paint peeling off. Like, is that a extremely painful process? Is that a quick power wash? Is that how quickly can you make it to be from 2 tones to 1 tone again? And,
Sure.
what's the best way we can do that?
Yeah, stuff like that. I mean, I'm happy to go look at stuff.
Yeah.
And then
And maybe even just
rough budget.
get your eye to like look down Main Street or Bridge Street and be like, what here is like the most applicable use of funds, right? Like, and
Sure,
even if
yeah.
we're coming up with ideas and like offering to the business, like, hey, we are doing $1,000 grants for stuff, and we saw this could be
Yeah.
done with $3,000, like that kind of stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be great.
So, in a nutshell, basically, just to clarify to make sure I'm understanding correctly, just revitalizing the downtown by cleaning up the sidewalks, even repairing sidewalks, making improved lighting, making it inviting,
Yes.
essentially, like kind of improving the whole downtown. So, is there even any city budget for stuff like improved city sidewalks or lighting? 'Cause that is a big first step.
They are looking at Bridge Street, that one site over there, using part of the ARPA funds that they have. And so they want to do like over there a little bump out and stuff like that. So I believe there is a section on that side and maybe even over here that is being reviewed, and I think they approved it during the last council meeting. I have a vague memory. I think they approved
We won't
it.
hold you to it. Thank you very much.
Yes,
Yeah.
but yes.
Okay, so, because then I also think of things like little pocket parks, especially right by the river, like kind of actually accentuating part of that and creating a little spots.
They are
hang out.
definitely
Like a
doing
walk
some
on
really cool
sidewalks.
park stuff.
Yeah, I'm part of the Riverfront group, and what's called Morgan Street
yeah.
Park and Chester Moore. Yes, that is all part of the
There is a
plaza. And it is, again, let me think of the company, Civil West Engineering has done a redesign of it, and they showed that at one of the council meetings. And that also is possibly gonna get, well, I know the council approved the bid to go out, and so the hope is that they'll be able to do partial of that. meaning they'll be able to put that seawall underneath the foundation and shore up, the plaza
plaza.
area,
Mhm.
because that is a #1 project that needs to be done. And they'll have a pathway that ties the two parks down there together.
Yeah.
So.
And also to the new parking lot, I think they
And-
want to too.
Yes.
There's some really fun
Yeah.
plans that will help
Cool.
be able to have the plaza get fixed, and then, so, yeah.
But it again, they're gonna do it in phases because of how expensive it is. And the hope is, again, that they also, once the, let's say the two parks are connected in that walkway, that they then can get a grant through the river access groups, Yamhill County.
Mm.
So there's other possibilities for grants there. So, yeah.
So, can I
Please.
interrupt? How are we, or how can we, or what thoughts have there been about bringing commerce or people to the area to want to come visit here to spend their money from areas that are larger, that have more money and make more money and more flexible income?
I will say that's a huge goal of like the Rotary,
Yeah.
us,
Chamber.
like Chamber, like
Chamber's working on that all the time.
goals, all the main nonprofits are working on that, and it's kind of a catch-22. You need to have businesses and
Yeah,
people here.
The
that have
Hyder
people there.
building,
Yeah.
the Hyder building having 4 little businesses in it
Will
would
really
be
help.
a nice help.
Yeah.
It'd be really cool to turn something like these old buildings into like an eat, play, live kind of thing, to where you have apartments up top.
Yeah.
There are
That's what we
apartments,
do.
there are
That's-
apartments.
Yeah, that is the
I
design.
mean, there are beautiful apartments, like really cool, lofty looking, kind of big window apartments,
But who
beautiful.
can afford them?
It's
I don't think that,
it's
like,
it's a funny thing
yeah,
because
massive
you know,
amount
when
of
I
money.
think of what would be needed in a town like this, I think of Dollar General, and I'm sorry, but and
We had
unfortunately went to Willamina.
We
but
had one here, it didn't do great.
No,
It
no,
went out of
but
business.
I'm talking about a Dollar General, a bigger one that can ride the storm, and you know I've been to their warehouses when I drive in trucks. They got these. It's a big operation. You know, they can afford to lose.
The top
but it
thing
would-
that they
it
want
would
here is
be-
a cafe.
it
They
would
want a
be- it would
bakery,
be-
coffee place.
You know, so to you know, you know,
I had
it's a depressed economy. Like you know, lumber was the main business here, and it's never recovered, in my opinion.
Well, and it's
Never
very
And
nice
it's
now.
never come back.
Yeah.
And so it's a tough call to like
Tourism.
get people interested.
Tourism, and that was the idea with the signs that the chamber did, because I was president of the chamber for a while, and we did the signs at on the highway, what you put the business, like the, can you put an action item to make sure they reach out to the chamber about that?
Yeah.
So I wanna get that, we should get that going again. But
About signs on the highway.
about signs on the highway, because we have them on there, but I don't think the cafe's on it, and I don't know that the gas is on it right now. Anyway,
Riverfront Cafe's doing really well too. From
yeah,
what I
they're doing
understand.
great.
I've gotten there and eat a lot of
think
times.
that this town could absolutely support another couple restaurants. I mean, we
Definitely.
lost that this is a
Well, and the
rumor.
Mexican place, right? It burned down.
I heard that they're not coming back.
But they've been working on
Yeah.
shoveling it
I
out.
the last
Probably
the
some
rumor I
somewhere.
heard, this was a
Yeah.
rumor that they're tearing it down.
Because they can't rebuild it, right?
Right.
The
Yeah.
insurance
That
won't.
They're
they
not- we're gonna-
they
Oh.
might actually rebuild, but I don't know. I know for a fact they are going to tear it down.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, because last spring, they were saying they were gonna come back.
Their food was good.
Yeah,
too.
I think it was insurance related.
So I think there
It's a
needs.
challenge, it's a challenge,
It is.
and I know that the city manager, I know the mayor, I know Rotary, I know Chamber, I know us, like, we've talked about this a lot, and it's, like you said, it's a catch-22, it's like you're trying to bring in the businesses to want to do it, but then they look at the downtown area and they're like, why wouldn't we invest in this area? And then the people who might want to invest don't have enough money because they live in this area and they don't have enough money, so it's like, what are we looking for? We're looking for people that have enough money that want to invest.
Are there any funds to like help incentivize business owners? to,
There's
like,
an
come?
enterprise zone.
Tell me, I swear. I got this one.
Sorry, wrong number.
There's an enterprise zone.
Oh, I thought that was someone at the door.
And these are great questions. Like I mentioned, next week we have the
Nonprofit.
next week.
City Hall.
It's Yamhill County Economic Development meeting. So I'm going to be attending.
Where's
And
that
Zoom.
at?
And Heidi, Kale, myself, and Joya, who runs the Yamhill County Economic Development, met and talked about a lot of stuff. And I would say one of the number one issues that Sheridan has in terms of investment, this is just based on what I've listened to, is the challenge of building something new or changing what's existing when you have the FEMA floodplain stuff. It's like, why would you do that when you could go to Willamina and not have to deal with all of that, and you're dealing with the same community area? I think that's
I mean, there
why
are more people here. It is closer to Mac. It is the next way down from Mac.
there
so
is
like
benefits. There's huge amount of benefits. I just have a feeling that builder looks at okay, great. Well, what if I want to buy that building right next to me and I want to make it into a blah? What do I have to do?
Yeah.
Like, there's a huge list of stuff that I have to do. Maybe I don't even have the ability to like tackle all that stuff or hire a lawyer who can research it to figure out what I need to do. That's at least my thought on it. I know that the chamber has been talking about stuff. I know Heidi has been really working to try to figure out a grant for the town to do a like an economic development plan, but it takes funding, and there's stuff that ends up becoming more of a priority because there's stuff that happens in a small town you have to focus on. But I know that's definitely, these are good like full questions. It's not something that we're going to solve on our own,
Right.
but it's definitely one of the top of mind things, and that's part of the reason why this park idea and fixing the plaza, because if you have a draw, if you have a way to have your boat go in or have your kayak go in, and you go in Willamina, you pull out here, you grab some food, there's a music festival, whatever, there's some energy created with that, and then you can start getting some positive attention to Sheridan.
Do you think
It's just long
that
process of planning.
City Hall and the new mayor are open to ideas? Open to thoughts?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, yes. Absolutely.
I'm on leave from work, and I'd like to make a difference
You
if I
should
can.
absolutely talk, and I can send you an email and connect you up with Kale. Kale is our mayor. He is very interested in listening to people.
And I was very blunt in his survey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet. I mean, if you have a way to reach out to him, if not, but I can connect you. But like, he is very interested, and
He sets aside time every week to meet with people.
I don't
think
think
that
he's
time
doing
is
it
doing that
anymore.
that's done
Yeah.
now. But I
Yeah.
definitely know that
He
he's
did.
very interested, and part of it is that, just like us, volunteers get burnt out, and like we lose support because of that. Like, I reached out
it's
to
easier not to volunteer and just
Yes.
be with your family, but
Yeah.
like there's
And complain about everything.
and
yeah,
complain
and
about
complain
it.
about everything. Yeah, exactly. And like, to be honest, I'm kind of like sometimes I get a little burnt out, but I'm like, I'm keep on doing it. But having fresh blood in and people who have that energy, who haven't volunteered in a while or want to do something new, there's lots of opportunities in Sheridan. Of course, I'm going to advocate for us because
Right.
that's us. But there's the Parks and Rec. There's doing the art subcommittee. There's working with like if you have a certain niche, the mayor is a great one to talk to too, because he's also part of. The great thing is most of the council members are part of at least one of, if not many, other groups in town, and everyone is like, for the most part, shoulder to shoulder, try to figure it out. But it's confusing. I know sometimes the people that hear stuff of blah blah blah. Well, okay, well, come down and talk to someone, because usually the reason why this couldn't be done was because of this, this, and this, and this.
Right.
Not because there's some big conspiracy and they're all trying to like, do something bad, but like there's like legitimate reasons
Right.
why that couldn't
Well,
be
that's,
done.
I don't know about
Yeah.
that.
And I'll invite you to again, come to the Parks and Rec meeting.
Okay.
It's also a Zoom. The
Okay.
next meeting is October 17th at 6 p.m. and you can Zoom in,
Okay.
whatever, or just come. And you'll find out there are a lot of subgroups going on,
Okay.
looking at stuff. And, the information's there. You just have to go to the city website. And I will say again, when it comes to city government, like the federal government, it's slow moving. You have to be very patient and kind of plod along, but it is moving. And there is a lot of good energy there and positive thoughts on how we can make Sheridan better. And, it's rare that we hear no now. It's, hey, this sounds good. How do we accomplish
I
that?
didn't mean to interrupt your whole.
Yeah.
That's fine.
It's all good things.
It's just processing.
Yeah.
Asking questions.
These are
That's
all
a good
very
thing.
legitimate
Yeah.
questions, and yeah.
It's fine.
I think these are all good. These are all really good. Did you get your question answered?
Yeah, I believe so. I think that, for the most part, it was answered, it was clear. So any initiative, basically being able to propose any initiative to make some aspect of Sheridan better, focusing on downtown to create more foot traffic, because if this town it's like the right size for like a foot traffic town.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was the idea with the
walking
murals,
town
is to
what
have
Yeah.
murals where you could have like do a walking, mural thing, and have like, that's how we had the idea of having the Bigfoot in each of the art pieces, so that kids could be like, oh, we want to go find the Bigfoot and connect them all together and have it be focused on the downtown core.
And look at South Park now. Holy cow.
Yeah.
How nice it looks.
Yeah. And that was predominantly grants.
Yes.
Predominantly grants that were done through the city, and a lot of work. It took years.
Yeah.
That started when Heidi first got here.
Yeah, she got a big grant and stuff like to redo the South Park, and they're gonna have disc golf there. They got the nice paved path all
bathroom.
around, and they got a brand
South
new
Park is just over the bridge.
bathroom.
Yeah, the bridge.
It is
Kind
an
of prison?
open.
Over
Yeah.
And the
Yes.
prison, yeah.
That's what that's called? Okay.
Yeah, South Park.
Not the prison park.
Yeah, not the prison park. And
Not the cemetery.
No.
There's that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So there's stuff happening. It just it takes a while.
Yeah,
It takes some time and we just need more volunteers. We need more volunteers, and people that are
And someone who wants to open a board game shop with me.
Oh,
That
really?
would be sweet. I was thinking of like destination spots, places for people to come to hang out to that are inviting, because anybody will come to it if it seems cool and it's a cool environment.
Yeah.
I'm always looking
That
for.
could be linked to the coffee shop when we pass through.
Yeah.
Right.
can you
I
throw in
am
a couple
waiting.
cats or something
Yeah.
at your
Okay,
So-
cat cafe.
Yeah, cat.
Yes.
No.
I'm down with
Like,
themed cafes.
You incorporate it into a coffee shop, like chapters.
Yeah.
How it's like a bookstore, but also
love
they
it.
had board games. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like
I
that.
actually really loved our
Really
coffee
nice.
shop. Our coffee shop was like super cool.
Oh,
It
I
was, it
Yeah.
was great.
It was really, really great. Okay, on that note, let's end off. Thank you very much for both of you coming. I hope you guys will come again. It's kind of like, we're pretty informal here, and all ideas are respected, and
We're trying,
We're
anything we can get done, like, we're trying to get some movement.
yes, we're trying to get stuff done. That's our theme for this upcoming
Quarter.
season.
Just do it.
Just do it. Just get stuff done.
Could you do a swash for us there, Ashley, with
Just do
t-shirt?
it.
Yeah,
Just
do it.
No, he doesn't do t-shirts, he only does both anymore.
Yeah, you need to talk to Sandy Walker for
Yes,
t-shirts.
she'll
Absolutely.
she'll hang